Welcome to the 54th episode of News Dump, brought to you by Summit Funding, where we run through the hottest topics in the Lewis County news scene and discuss. I'm Chronicle Editor-in-Chief Aaron VanTuyl, joined as always by Associate Editor Eric Schwartz and the Joe Pesci to our Riggs and Murtaugh, perennial college boy Luke Kilgore. Fellas, how we doing on this Tuesday night?
You were promoted? No one told me.
You were demoted, Schwartz?
No one told me. Associate Editor is a made-up title.
The entirety of today's edition, the entire newsroom can vouch for me.
He's bitter. And also, is that a Lethal Weapon 3 reference?
It is.
It
is
third?
indeed. Yes, I think that's when Joe Pesci joined the crew.
The informant?
Yeah.
I'm just a little weasel.
Well, it's ironic because you're actually very large.
Yes, it is.
You're the tallest man I know. People forget that.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of anti-Semitism with Mel Gibson,
we'll
you are going to love this episode, folks.
Oh, boy.
You're really selling this as incorrectly, I think. Like you're selling it as if it is a podcast for anti-Semites, which it is not.
No, it's a podcast making fun of anti-Semites that somehow show up every single week.
We will get to that in a moment. But first of all, it's Tuesday.
Give him a sedative or something before he comments on the news this week.
It's Tuesday. Are you talking about Kilgore or Jim Walsh?
Kilgore. Well, maybe both. I don't know.
Don't bury the lead, bud.
It's Tuesday, July 6th, and we just wrapped up festival weekend in Lewis County.
Don't you mean Freedom Weekend?
It was a little of everything. We had the Independence Day Parade roll through Oakville. The highlight of that, of course, was the bikers with Angelo Califo for Oakville mayor.
Did you pronounce that right?
I'm not sure.
All right.
Adorning their motorcycles.
Yeah.
And then I read the cut lines and realized that the leader of the pack of motorcycles was, in fact, Angelo Califo, who is Oakville's mayor.
That's
has
beautiful.
my vote. How do I establish residency?
Hey, those photos were by Paul Dunn, by the way. He did a great job.
Paul did a very nice job there. We also had the Independence Day Freedom Festival in Mossy Rock.
Well, every day for the past 6 months has been the Freedom Festival in Mossy Rock, but continue.
Nightcrawler's photos were hilarious. There was a lot of photos of... There was just one photo that was like two kids on a four-wheeler in a park, and I was like, that's not part of the festival. That's just what happens in Mossy Rock.
That's every weekend, bud.
And then there was DJ...
Truth be told, I think he missed the parade.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Are you saying Crawler was late to a thing?
We had 6 events going on in the greater Lewis County area, and he got 5 of them. So you don't do that without cutting some corners, and I think he missed the parade.
He did turn in a lot of photos of a lot of stuff.
Oh, he did. Great photos.
May I ask how you prioritize the festivals? Can you guys give me a quick ranking?
That's tough. That's tough.
Now, Aaron's hot take. Go ahead, buddy.
Oh, I don't have a hot take on it. I would also like to know. It just kind of... You throw them all to Crawler and let him kind of decide?
Well, I think normally it would 100% be Summerfest because it's your largest city in the coverage area.
Yeah.
But it's scaled back this year. There wasn't an official parade. There was an unofficial parade. So that means the number one spot is wide open, and it puts it down between Veterans Museum, PL, Mossy Rock, and Independence Day. And from what I saw, PL takes the crown this year.
I'm not sure if PL takes the crown because they have the greatest parade or just the photos were the best.
It could be both.
Because some of the Crawler's photos from that were fireworks photos from after the sun had gone down at PL, and they're very artistic, and
they were good shots.
Really cool looking.
Yeah, they were good shots.
Pistol Pete would be proud.
He would be. There was also, of course, the Summerfest in Centralia was replaced by the Patriotic Drive through Centralia.
Yeah, it was an unofficial thing, but I thought it was cool.
Yeah, they had some military personnel vehicles at Bourse Park and some old cars and stuff.
So they just did a cruise but made it themed?
Yeah, and they had military vehicles too. I think it was from the America's Team Museum up on North Tower there, Peter Lalonde's joint.
That
kind of
makes
cool.
sense, yeah. And the other one was the Veterans Museum in Chehalis celebrated Independence Day with 1776 Day, and all of those photos are fun.
I'm going to call that a strong pivot because normally they have a Civil War reenactment, and considering the imagery of the Confederate flag over the past year and a half and what that's meant even more so than normal, I think it was a good pivot.
I think that's big kudos.
Tip of the hat to Chip Duncan.
Yeah, and it looked pretty cool, too. There was a lot of red coat. Those dirty red coats were out.
Oh, I hope they don't come back. I hope they don't come back.
Former News Dump Hero of the Week,
Chip Duncan, indeed. Great reference, Kilgore.
Yes.
Just I
watched this podcast.
A real quick fun fact, I explained to my 6-year-old son and 4-year-old daughter what 4th of July was all about, and I told them about the British and everything, and I was putting my son to bed, and he was like, do you think those wimpy Brits are ever going to come back? And I was like, no, I don't think so. I think we whipped them real good.
What
Speaking
if
of
they did?
wimpy, tomorrow we're going to hear about the French.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, what if they did?
Yeah, like what would that look like?
I don't know.
I assume they'd come across in like a European boat.
I don't think it would be in wooden boats, no.
It'd be fiberglass, but still like heaven.
A European yacht?
Yeah.
Surely with the unified front we have now as a country, we'd be just fine.
Yeah.
We would all be able to
Well done.
turn and confront a common enemy.
Well done, Schwartz.
Our true royalty returns.
Yeah, do you think there's just like low-key loyalists that have just stood by for
No,
generations?
I don't know.
300 years?
I don't know, man. When was the last time you were in New England?
You have to ask which state would turn first.
Massachusetts.
Yeah,
That
Boston.
was my first thought.
Well,
I don't know why.
Massachusetts was the site of the Boston Tea Party. What's
true.
next to Massachusetts?
Rhode Island, Vermont.
Yeah, Rhode Island. They're
Island.
pretty close to England, too,
And they don't really care.
geographically. And there's like 12 of them.
This is a very stupid conversation.
Yeah, well, have you ever listened to the news dump, Eric?
Yeah, first time, buddy? We're getting into news now, and Schwartz, would you like us to mute you for that? You can't use your pass on this topic.
I'm not going to use my.
Thank God.
So now you just make non-pass topics. That's fine. I'm just going to say, as editor, I'm gonna show myself out, and please go ahead and mute me. And I just would like to be a listener for the remainder because I've voiced appreciation for Representative Walsh in the past. Go ahead.
You have been muted. If you would
See
like
ya,
to,
bud.
in honor of Jim Walsh, performatively leave the room, you are welcome. You're stomping out. Hold on.
Oh, with
Wow,
authority.
there he goes. He's scowling from outside the podcast studio.
The little window.
Our story, State Representative Jim Walsh apologizes for wearing Star of David during speech about vaccines.
In Lacey, yeah?
Yes, so Jim Walsh, the state representative from Aberdeen, wore a yellow Star of David at a meeting in Lacey whilst giving a speech about vaccine passports and vaccine segregation. I saw a clip of the video, and he also looped critical race theory in there just for good measure to hit for the far-right cycle.
Yes, he is.
The yellow Star of David, of course, is a symbol the Nazis forced Jews to wear during the Holocaust before, doing a genocide on them.
Yeah.
Not a great look.
Yeah.
He apologized on Thursday after saying it was inappropriate and offensive and wrong, but only after doubling down initially and calling it an echo from history and saying that in the current context, quote, "we are all Jews."
Yes.
Disagree.
Yeah. Yes.
He was also first critical of the Seattle Times story on the event, saying on Facebook that it was Orwellian and hyper-partisans are trying to make a sign of solidarity into something bad. Just so we're clear, Nazis put the Star of David on Jews to mark them for death.
Yeah, there's no solidarity there, actually.
Jim Walsh, a prep school educated fellow, sees the government and medical community in general telling people to get vaccinated and thinks, yeah, same.
Did he graduate from Aberdeen? Where the heck did he go?
He went to prep school with Brett Kavanaugh.
Sure.
That's Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh.
Well, wasn't that the Brett Kavanaugh that... Nah, never mind.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Walsh also took to Facebook to make a crack about Jay Inslee, saying sticking with the emergency powers declaration was like passing the ball on the 2-yard line. Made a nice Seahawks reference, which is appropriate for someone who turned the Star of David into a glorified 12th man jersey just last week. So, Kilgore, would you like to dunk on Jim Walsh, who does not deserve to be taken seriously any longer?
No longer. And hold on. I need to find out how old this man is.
Old enough to have been taught history,
but young
at some
enough to
point.
not be this damn senile. What?
I don't think he's senile. I think he was just doing a classic Jim Walsh bit of performative, like dancing in front of a crowd, and then somebody reported on it, and he was like, oh no, I have gone too far.
Wikipedia just doesn't have a birth date or anything for him, just when he assumed office, so he's an enigma.
A true man of mystery and terrible takes.
I just don't, what? We have something like this almost every week. Whether it's Jim Walsh at an extreme level or Sean Swope at a local lesser level. Like we have something that's just so blindingly, ignorantly said.
Like, just it costs you absolutely nothing to like keep your mouth shut.
Oh,
and
God.
as far as political stunts
that
go,
man
like
gets paid by the syllable. There's no way. There's no way he doesn't.
And look, it's extremely offensive to Jewish people. This would be like Kilgore if you came in and was like, "Wow, my girlfriend just died in a car wreck," and I was like, "Wow, I know exactly how you feel because my girlfriend was stuck in traffic for 5 minutes yesterday."
Yeah. Comparing a minor inconvenience or a somewhat inconvenience, I guess, to genocide is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
apples to nuclear missiles.
Jim Walsh.
Yeah.
This podcast is not a Jim Walsh podcast. It never was, but it definitely will not be now, ever.
Oh man!
And with that, we are going to allow.
Wait. Can I?
Do you want to talk about the memes?
Yeah, I just. And also, as soon as I saw this, I sent this to you, Aaron, and said podcast fodder. And little did I know that Eric had already sent it to you hours beforehand.
Exactly,
we were
yes.
ready to pounce.
We were, yeah.
But of course, like the Seattle Times has a picture of him that's less than appealing. He's got a "Don't Tread on Me" flag behind him. But someone on Twitter says, someone put the Vader helmet back on Humpty Anakin. And honestly, man, shave the rest of his head and throw a couple whatever cuts, burn marks, scabs on top of his head. That's quite accurate, actually. So,
my favorite was the guy on a bicycle with a stick in his hand meme, and the first panel says Jim Walsh CD3 campaign, and the second one is a photo of him sticking the stick through his bicycle spokes, and it says comparing COVID restrictions to the Holocaust, and then it's him laying next to his crashed bicycle, grabbing his knee, saying "Damn Orwellian media." Just a great take by that memester.
Oh man, Jim Walsh is getting absolutely trashed, and he deserves it for this one.
Yeah, he does. All right, let's let Schwartz back in. How was your brief respite from the podcast?
I had a nice walk outside. I'm sure you guys, engaged in a very measured, profane-free, and polite discourse.
Yeah, we didn't throw any F-bombs in there or anything.
No, we actually don't think we threw any cuss
I
words.
do have some breaking news here, however. And I hope you're ready for this. Email just came in 5:56 p.m. It's from Carmen VanTuyl.
Oh,
Grandma.
Says, "Hi, Eric. Chehalis United Methodist Church has a new pastor. He is excited to get involved in the community. So look forward to that story very soon."
You're not
Great news.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Sweet. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks
That's
for
what we're about. Good, wholesome community news.
We are. That's,
Certainly wouldn't go about bashing no democratically elected state lawmaker.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't put the word Democrat in him. He's going to hunt us down just for that comment. Forget everything else we've said.
He also.
I'm not listening to this podcast.
He also made a Spartacus comparison at one point, which what?
I'm sending him back to all the history classes, man. I'm buying him an atlas and an encyclopedia. Well, just one volume of Encyclopedia
I want to
Britannica.
sit down and watch Spartacus with Jim Walsh and be like, what part of this do you feel like represents you?
By the way, you saying "hit for the far right cycle" just tickled me. That was
you.
well done.
All right, let's jump into the rest of our news topics now that we got
Local
that out of the
news.
way. The Lewis County Commissioners are famously fiscally conservative trio approved purchase of a $1.1 million property. We discussed last week how the commissioners were worried about financing in regards to taking on a big park out in Packwood, but then bought the Masonic Lodge, and now the spending spree continues.
Yes. Ball till we fall, baby.
No, I'm actually fine with this. It's a big office building. 57 West Main Street includes the Main Street Professional Building. They're going to use it as part of their capital plans projects. It's going to be home for the Public Works Department. So
sweet.
Nice, yeah.
You think like the small government folks in our readership though had to be quite angered to read the first one. They're just like, oh, they're spending $340,000.
It was $435,000
Whatever
to get the parking
No,
lot.
the 340 was for the building, but yeah, you're right. For both, if you want to be a stickler.
Yeah.
But if you were angered by that, and then to read no more than a week later, $1.1 million, like
Well, do you
the
think,
Ron Swanson in me is
do you
just
think
raging.
do you think the real estate agent listing the Main Street Professional Building saw them buy the Masonic Lodge for $435,000, essentially just to get the parking lot, like a little kid, like I'm sure Bauer at some point has been like, Dad, I really need this $90 Lego set because it's got Darth Vader minifig in it.
Yep.
Yeah, you called it.
Yeah,
Yep.
I've been there.
That was money.
Doing that just to get a parking lot and saw like a Main Street Professional building and just X'd out $500,000 and wrote 1.1 million on it.
Yeah, you know. Well,
Yeah, there was a realtor that said jackpot for sure.
One of the Stanley brothers is over there just like counting his dollars.
The funny thing is
shekels.
I saw the news of this sale first on Facebook from the realtor who sold it, had like shared the post. So it's funny you should note.
He had that post and his next one was him on a Hawaiian island.
Just on a boat.
No, it'll be like their plan is basically to get all the county offices kind of on the main drag there in Chehalis, which it's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it makes sense.
That's where they should
Yeah,
be.
I like that. Trying to be like, well, Tumwater's got most of their offices on the same street, right?
I know nothing about
Well,
the
if
project.
there's one thing Chehalis is envious of, it's Tumwater, as we know
Well,
from sports.
Yeah.
I don't
Wow.
think that's true.
Nice.
I feel like that's flipped around the other way.
Yeah, I don't think there's that much envy.
I mean, we've
these
seen the
days.
Olympians stretch so far that they had to start covering WF West because Tumwater wasn't up to snuff, right?
Well, only outside of football and volleyball season.
Just poaching our athletes of the year, whatever.
That's
yeah.
one season, Aaron.
That's
I mean, come on. Your bias is showing.
What am I biased towards or against in this
I
conversation?
mean, you were sports editor here for what, a decade? What
I
sports
was.
did you refuse to cover?
Say it. Say it.
Say it.
Say it.
What are you wrestling?
I don't think I ever
Soccer?
saw you cover a soccer game.
I covered one
like
soccer game.
I don't think
volleyball
I
game.
ever saw you cover a volleyball game.
I think
No,
you did one.
I never covered a
Nothing.
volleyball game.
Yeah,
See,
none.
this is your bias.
I don't know how to
You ever
score
covered
volleyball.
tennis?
What would I do covering
It's
a
like
game?
Tumwater just dominates in sports
I did
because their
cover
football team's good.
I did cover one tennis match. I covered Yasser Khan's last match his senior year.
Ooh, yeah. Bid's Mint City Adieu, I believe, is what you said.
Yeah, it was a good story.
Did you like purchase a copy of Tennis Reporting for Idiots for Dummies?
Well, I had to have Yasser and Jack State both explain to me how tennis worked.
Did
And
you?
then Yasser was like, sometimes I play a doubles match against our best doubles team by myself, and I beat him pretty easily.
Awesome.
was a
Did
fun
you ever?
story.
go
Sorry
to
about
a,
the spontaneous attack on your integrity.
No, there were a lot of sports I never covered.
It needs to happen every once in a while, really. Keep them honest. Did you ever cover bowling?
We didn't have any bowling.
Yeah, that's new.
All right. Well,
I wrote a story
Eric
about a
Trank covers
blind.
bowling.
I wrote a story about a blind guy named. Oh, he had the same name as a famous 1940s actor, Gary Cooper, who bowled a 300 game though.
super duper.
I think that was before I started in sports.
I think former mayor Bob Spar bowled a 300.
Yeah,
Big bowling
I think that's
guy,
right.
Bob Spar, yeah.
I think that's right.
He's got a ring for it. He showed
Yeah.
me once. Mm-hmm. Anyway, tangent.
All right. Next news item. We are just off on it. Yeah. Parks and Vader and Napavine receive a combined $542,000 in state funding.
Not our money, baby.
Nope. Napavine
Well, it
gets
is
about
your money, but yeah.
$259,000 to install a covered kitchen and restroom facility and build new ADA accessible pathways at Mamie Shattuck Park. Vader's getting $283,000 to put in a trio of playground structures at Worden Park, which looks like they're going to look like the ones at Penny Playground in Chehalis. They're also getting shaded picnic areas and a paved walking path.
Oh my goodness.
I
So-
say good for Vader.
That's a big come up.
Yeah, that is.
Has anyone been to Worden Park before?
It's more of a property than anything else right now, but no, I've driven past it. Never stopped there.
Is that in downtown Vader proper?
I'm not going to.
There is no proper downtown Vader.
Well, there was.
Well,
It was
there's like a
between-
fire department and the post office in the same building.
Well, there used to be a school.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I know one of my buddies, Paul, went to school there and grew up. And if you ever met Paul Hoven, you would understand exactly why he is the way he is. Just from his Vader upbringing.
Moving on.
Lots of hate for Vader there. I think it's cool that they're gonna have something cool. I think a park gets really overlooked as far as quality. We live right next to Schaefer Park, Aaron. Not that we live together,
No.
but
Might
we
as
live
well.
right next to Schaefer Park, and it's nice to just be able to drive 2 minutes down the road and go to the park.
Or to
So,
walk across a field and go to Schaefer Park.
yeah. So
Aaron
doesn't have to go
loves
anywhere.
reminding you.
Shoo away the people that have walked out of Schaefer Park and into your field. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I see them and I drive my truck onto the berm and honk and
You know what you need to do, Aaron?
rev the engine.
So that you can become the groundskeeper for Schaefer Park. Start your own biker gang and get a sign.
Yeah, you could be in the Oregon Trail Days parade.
Yeah, you could be in the Oregon Trail Days parade with that. Anyway, other news, DOT rolls out I-5 projects for the Twin Cities. They are going to widen a section of southbound I-5 between Chamber Way and Highway 6 and put meter ramps on the on-ramps between the 13th Street exit in Chehalis and Harrison Avenue in Centralia, and they're going to put roundabouts at the Chamber Way and Highway 6 interchanges.
Oh, what?
These additions are going to decrease congestion, and I can tell you both right now, people are going to hate them.
Lose their minds.
They are not going to be happy about the delays in traffic involved in installing these and the changes in their daily routines. People hate their routines being changed.
Also, people, especially like I don't know if it's in America or just Washington State, but they are almost allergic to roundabouts.
Yeah,
Like,
they're confusing.
No,
I don't like them.
They're not confusing.
Don't talk to me. Don't talk down to me like that, you dirty.
They are proven to reduce minor collisions.
Yeah.
Like, it's fact.
Yeah, you literally
Yeah.
just yield. It's not.
What if you go left at a roundabout, though?
Well, that's
Major
left.
collision.
That's not
That's not how it-
advisable.
Yeah, it's not. What, you're going to go through it? You're going to rally onto the center?
They're designed to prevent you from doing that.
Anyway, so do you guys think these are going to be popular? Are they going to be cool?
As far as popular,
Are there going to be people out protesting with signs that say, actually, roundabouts are awesome?
I actually don't think the roundabouts are a bad idea.
I don't either.
The metered ramps
don't
people are
seem
going to
to
blow
make-
through those.
Well, I just don't think that there's a need. I get on and off the freeway all the time. There's never been once where I'm just like, there's no room in traffic for me. Like if
wait.
traffic's
So
backed
metered
up,
is the
you
ones
find
with the
yourself-
lights?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe that's what metered
I think
traffic
Are we
is.
freaking Tacoma?
So
What?
I'm sure it's the WSDOT. They're probably working off projections as well as to what traffic is going to be rather than what it is right now, since they're not talking about building this out until like 2023.
Wait. And it's going to be on 13. So it's going to be on exit 76?
Yeah.
We do not need a meter ramp on 76.
It doesn't feel like it, but I don't know.
Harrison?
But what if we did?
Maybe? Yikes.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of metered ramps in even Thurston County that I'm aware of.
I like-
Couple,
No,
but-
there's a couple around the Capitol, but that's
Yeah.
about it.
I like widening southbound, but we know that that's going to be a couple years of complaints.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Got to do it though.
Remember when the Mellon Street one first got going and people were so angry that you couldn't just hop on south? You
Yeah,
had
I'm
to-
still angry.
Yeah, I bet you are.
And they coming into town from Schubert Road, and you got to go all the way back down to the freeway overpass, and
Yeah.
What a minor
Terrible.
inconvenience.
Terrible.
it's huge.
Huge.
Next news item: CC Athletics Complex construction is starting this fall.
Nice.
Turf complex planned to be in the $3 million range. Will house a baseball field, a softball diamond, and a full NCAA-sized soccer pitch.
So, I mean, that was like Bob Peters and Steve Ward in tandem, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they've
By
been
the
working
way-
on that for a while.
I should have suggested, I don't know how long ago they honored him, but Steve Ward did retire, and they named Ward Plaza after him, obviously. I think that was a while ago, but they gave him a whole bunch of stuff recently, and I think that he should be one of our heroes.
Oh no, he's great. We've got a story coming on him, so I'd save
Absolute
that for a future week. But yeah, we definitely have a story coming on Steve Ward. But this is one of the developments I'm like most excited about. Like this close to the downtown core to have an athletic complex like that. There's nothing like that I'm really aware of in Lewis County or even beyond that. As far as like the heart of the city, right there at the college.
Well, is it
It'd be
gonna-
really cool to see those lights.
It's going to end up
Yeah.
like rack level, right?
Yeah, I could, but outdoors.
Eventually. Yeah.
And it's kind of constrained in what it can grow out to be. The college has shown that it can swallow up residential areas eventually.
Yes,
by
it can.
Buying out property and things like that.
It's
So,
inevitable. Is there anything else going to be in there besides the? Oh wait, no, you said softball diamond. Oh yeah, that's everything. Everything
Yeah,
you
they're
need.
throwing a bunch of stuff in there.
Also, we said shout out Bob Peters. Shout out assistant athletic director Jonathan McMillan. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep. Friend of the podcast.
went to school with Jonathan.
yeah. Oh, you went to PL?
Big fan. No, Centralia College.
Nice.
I was there in his ballin days.
Yeah,
Would you say
He's a
that
baller.
like you didn't know me then? So would you say that he was the loudest person you met before me?
No, I don't know. I didn't know him that well, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's still pretty loud though.
I think about
When he turns
Jonathan
it
and I
on.
can literally just hear his
Yeah,
like. You went more Jabba on that.
he's got a deep voice, man. He sounds like Ludacris. Next, our last news item for the week. Not missing. Vernetta Smith's Chehalis Timberland Library statue undergoing repairs. Rumors flew last week as locals noticed the absence of a bronze statue of a girl on a bench in front of the Vernetta Smith Chehalis Timberland Library. Commenters speculated that the statue had been stolen, and for a minute, we almost had a true caper on our hands.
Of the Muppet variety.
But alas, the missing child, like the overwhelming majority of children reported missing, was not missing at all, so much as just not being where someone wanted them to be. Susan Stainer with the city reported it's not missing. They know where it is, and it's being fixed. The statue was a donation, and it should be back in a few weeks, they say, which sounds a little too convenient, fellas. I, for one, think it was stolen, and the city has commissioned a quick replacement to cover up its inherent crime problem. Kilgore, how do you weigh in?
Oh, wow. There is, I mean, crime rate is getting just way out of hand there in
People
downtown
are stealing
Chehalis.
statues all the time at Chehalis.
Left and right, just knocking them down. I think our rights are being infringed on a little bit here.
Schwartz, where's the coverage of this issue?
You just cited it. That's all the coverage.
All right.
There will be no more coverage until potentially it comes back.
Okay, so yeah, the statue is getting fixed, and then they'll bring it back. They're probably adding a book. It looks like the book went missing.
Yeah,
girl
the
was
book
reading a
went missing first because we were getting calls about that, about what happened to the statue's
No, they've
book.
stolen the whole
Yeah.
girl.
And I think they're just fixing it. It's
Well-
actually, if I recall correctly, it's a somewhat generic statue. There's like many of them across the nation.
What, they just ordered them online?
No, not like ordered
you
online.
could
It's
order
more
to-
installed. Yeah.
Yeah, to like spice up your, your museum or your courthouse or jail or whatnot.
Someone just stole the bronze book and they couldn't decipher it or read it, so they had to get the bronze girl. I mean,
had
who
to
else
get
is
the-
going to know what it
Probably
says?
like a national treasure type situation, It's probably like an inscription on the backside,
Yes,
only visible
of the
by
girl
sunlight.
or the book.
The book.
All right.
Oh, boy.
Guys, I've been doing some shopping. I think I'm ready to purchase a house, finally, for the first time in my life.
Oh.
I found the right home. It's a small 2-bedroom with a balcony. It's on a corner lot. It's in town. It's a greenhouse out back for my geraniums. There's a hot tub at the front yard. It's got a wine cellar, 5-car garage, wraparound porch, 4 industrial-strength commercial bathrooms, palm tree, 2 walk-in closets for my extensive collection of flannel shirts.
Need that.
It's within walking distance of my beloved splash pad, so I can water Ralph. But I have questions about buying. I got a few comic books to sell and a piggy bank with like $45 in it, and Schwartz owes me like $15, I think. So like, that's good, right? Like, what happens next in the buying process?
Aaron, you need a mortgage consultant.
A what now? Is that like a psychic to tell me where I can like dig up money? This house costs thousands of dollars, so it's going to take me like 20, 30 years to save up that much, and it'll still be on the market though, right?
Aaron, no. You need to call Summit Funding, the home loan experts. Hey, talk to Jason Gillespie.
Our boy.
Yeah, he'll hook you up with everything you need and explain the process.
So he'll just give me the money then.
Nah, it doesn't quite work like that. I'm not a finance guy, but I'll tell you who is, Jason Gillespie.
So then I'll like sign an IOU. Like I'm good for it, probably.
It's kind of like that. But hey, call Jason Gillespie with Summit Funding, the home loan experts, and let me give you some info.
Great.
Office number 360-330-4037. Fax number 360-205-4099. Or shoot him an email, GillespieTeam@summitfunding.net. That's GILLISPIE team@summitfunding.net. Or hey, just walk right up to his front door, 1616 South Gold Street in
He
Centralia.
lives in the office.
Yeah, he does.
And use promo code NewsDump, and the ad copy says get 50% off your first house.
50% off your first house.
What a deal. That's definitely real.
HUD
There needs to
couldn't
be
do
a
that for you.
disclaimer there of some sort.
I don't think that's actually real.
Asterisk.
You guys ready for Tales from the Takes page?
I suppose.
They're going to be short this week. Brian Mitke wrote a Seattle Mariners lineup for all time column in poem form.
I just read this last night, and I was absolutely flabbergasted.
Riveted.
Riveted, yeah. Sure.
I'm not a big poem guy, but it's not bad. I was originally pretty skeptical, but it's a fun little exercise. He hit all his marks. His answers were correct. It's just, like it's a poem. I don't know.
Yeah, but like,
Not my thing.
I want to know.
He did it with his kids, so you can't just say Brian Mitke. This column was also by Benjamin and Samuel Mitke.
So
credit
we
where
can't
credit's
dunk
due.
on the Mitke children.
That's a very key detail, Aaron. I need you to do more research next time, please.
Luke was just about to fly off.
No, I loved it. I want to know how long it took. Like, It's very creative, and I just wonder if it was a free flow, like if it just popped right on out there, or if it involved like numerous Google searches. I don't know. Brian's been true to the blue for a long time, I think, right?
I was impressed that there wasn't a single name where I had to look it up or Google or anything. So it wasn't a stretch. It wasn't like they got stuck and had to pull some like bench player from the 1980s or something like that.
Yeah.
It was good.
It's true.
Let's see. And then the other one, Juliet McDonald writes about the grand opening set for a Pioneer church that a community built. It's the Fort Bliss Pioneer Church in the park. Looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Looks cool. They did a great job.
Fort Bliss Park never misses. They never miss on their additions.
What a take.
Yeah. Yeah, huge take.
People's Champion of the Week. I've got the heroic neighbor who pulled an occupant from a burning house in rural Chehalis. Do we have a name on this fella?
Yeah, we can't argue with that.
Whose brother was it?
It's I believe it was Josh Winky.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like the
says it
rare.
all. That's awesome.
It was the rare case where how it's initially reported actually comes out to be. It was actually a lot more dramatic because at first we had a fire chief tell us like kind of secondhand. Well, one of the neighbors ran in and grabbed one of the residents and got them out. But after reporter Emily Fitzgerald spoke with the guy, the building was fully on fire and he had to crawl in on his stomach underneath like the smoke as it's burning around him.
Oh my God.
And grabs the lady and like pulls her out. And the consensus at the site of the fire was like if he had not done that, she definitely would have died. Like there was not another outcome. She wasn't able to get herself out of there. So true hero.
Josh Winky, a true hero.
Huge. That's amazing.
Lift it into the rafters.
That's the stuff. I mean, that's the stuff that happens in show business and is romanticized, but like it actually happened in.
You say they're going to get married?
That's not quite what I was getting at there, but hey, anything can happen.
Do we have a Sirens Banger of the Week? I couldn't find one.
You couldn't find one?
There was a report of a vicious dog, and I see those all the time. So
and you saw Ralph's name in it, so we had to pass on it today.
Yeah, I have to protect Ralph at all costs.
Yeah, I mean, I think, are we talking Sirens Banger of the Week? Let's give it to the 911 dispatchers. It's not an award, but our Banger of the Week is probably whatever they heard all night on the night of July 4th into the morning of July 5th. That's probably the banger, because they probably heard the same thing over and over again.
Well, okay.
This morning I woke up and it's July 6th, is that correct?
Yes.
So 7:30 this morning, my neighbor is shooting off fireworks.
Yeah,
and I wanted to call. But
you should have.
I could have made it a Banger of the Week.
Well, I mean, not even Lewis County related at all, but our boy Brandon Hansen. I mean, you guys have been seeing his Facebook feed, I'm sure, all weekend.
Yes.
And he did have one that said, "God bless America." And it's like 5 straight postings from the Spokane police and fire departments.
Oh, yeah.
It was like brush fire, structure fire, brush fire.
It's also a stabbing in Spokane that was over fireworks as well.
Yeah.
Well, that's the least common.
You know what? For next year, if you're worried about fireworks, I encourage everybody to just go watch the No Terry Put It in Reverse video on a loop for the entire evening.
Back up, Terry.
On YouTube. No, Terry.
Put it in reverse, Terry. Oh, Lord.
It's a great video. Anyway, on to Facebook comments of the week. I've only got a few, but some of them are good. So on one story, it's early, but Washington could be facing its worst wildfire season of the year. Comment, I literally saw this exact article the last 2 years, and it wasn't as bad as the years prior. Sir, I remember a lot of smoke last summer.
Yeah, I don't.
Like a lot.
Yeah. Also, you want to talk to anyone on the east side, bud?
I would just say Malden would beg to differ.
Yeah.
When it, used to exist.
This one's good. On 1776 Day at the Veterans Memorial Museum. Aren't those British soldiers? I thought the American soldiers' uniforms were brown, blue, and gray. Am I confused?
Yes, you are.
You can't have a war without two sides, madam.
Yeah. We need representation.
That comment did make me go look again, and we didn't identify the redcoats as Americans. So.
Well, Crawler does lean Brit.
I would say so. Yeah.
Shut the whole thing. Yeah. Not a single photo of the, the good guys.
Rebel scum.
The rebellion. Yeah, the rebellion.
Story on the Knapvine and Salcombe men jailed after gunfire in Cowlitz County. I guess this could have been a Sirens Banger of the Week, but it was also just kind of weird. So two men, I think 70 and 63 were their ages, were
Why is that funny? There's,
firing
like,
guns in a
old people
road rage
and-
incident. And the comment is, you would think at their age they would know better.
Were they
You
fine?
would think so.
Were they fine?
I mean, they got arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah, but were either of them dead?
Yeah, everybody's
Well,
fine. They stopped a
that's-
vehicle,
the
and one
shooters
of
are the
them
men they're
fired a
shooting
weapon.
at.
They were both brandishing it out of the vehicle, once
Oh.
from Salcombe, once from Napavine. Emily Fitzgerald, our reporter, went down to Cowlitz County today only to realize that they don't let anyone in the courthouse due to COVID, which Lewis County doesn't do that, or any county that we're aware of. So she drove to Cowlitz County to watch the hearing in the parking lot from her computer.
Oh, well, we've all been there.
Yeah, it worked out.
So only one person shot.
We'll see. It's going
Yeah.
to be in. We're going to have a story on it in Thursday's edition.
I just thought of it, like I just imagined it as like them missing very badly and both just like leaning behind their cars and poof poof.
No, I think one of them actually
playing
like
too many
fired
video
the gun
games.
into the ground or something like that.
One of the other
ground.
comments
Warning
was
shot.
like, I want to know the whole story. And it's like, well,
Wait
Sure.
for it.
It was a holiday weekend. All we got was a press release. I wasn't
Yeah.
there.
Where's the video?
all right, next comment. Thorbex and Chamber of Commerce holding a virtual STP. Comment, great, I'll grab my virtual bicycle, my virtual spandex, and start out pretentiously with my annoying virtual road biker attitude. After a long day of virtual riding, I'll grab a virtual Gatorade and spaghetti-flavored popsicle, pretend to eat it. Jeez.
Wait, why the spaghetti flavor? That's very out
That's a
of
good
place.
comment. Solid comment.
Yeah, it was good. I respect his commitment to the bit.
Yeah.
He followed through. That was good.
Also, like, how pretentious are the drivers possibly while trying to go around the pretentious cyclers?
People love to complain about the 2 days a year when you have to see bicyclists.
It's terrible.
It's good for the economy, and yeah, they're
Is it?
inconvenient, but
I'm
like,
just kidding.
I mean, how many drag I-5 parades have we seen that have slowed things down?
Yeah, that's true.
And the last one, on the live stream of the patriotic drive-through event in downtown Centralia, the comment, God forbid we should have a Twin City parade that celebrates local talent, freedom, and capitalism. This event was wonderful, though, just not well publicized. Most parade/events, those sidewalks would be packed with spectators. I can't tell if the first half of that is sarcastic or
Yeah,
not.
that's
Because there was literally 5 other
No, but I think
parades.
they were responding because most of the comments when I looked on that one were that they would have been there if they had knew it was happening in the first place, and it wasn't something we really got a heads up on. It was kind of an unofficial, like, impromptu event, I guess I would say.
the commenter had me in the first half. I'm not gonna lie.
They did, yeah.
But to say it's not well publicized, and there's a several minute live video of the entire parade going down the street, that's pretty well publicized.
Yeah, you could have walked outside at any point watching that video.
Well, they mean like yeah, that's true. But they mean like pre-public.
Yeah, I know. If we had known about it, we would have done it. It was like the epic dragging of 2020 on Twitter that time we didn't know about the Trump rally that was going on.
Big media won't cover this event we didn't tell them about.
Well, that's the thing. Since COVID, especially, a lot of things have just came together very quickly. A lot of things have been last minute. And everyone's really dropped the ball on publicity. Besides the Chronicle, they've done a great job.
Oh, thanks, Luke.
Yeah.
That's much appreciated.
Yeah. But a lot of people
We'd
just
save
drop
it in the
ball.
second half. Well, I would ask you what's coming in today's paper, but since I edited the whole thing, I can tell you it's got some fantastic news in it.
Yeah. Well,
All hair, our new
poorly
editor-in-chief.
designed, though. I'd like to apologize on the behalf of the Chronicle on the poor design of Tuesday's edition.
I'm sorry if the cropping of the photos of your children you sent into the
I
Chronicle
didn't send in any photos. It's not true. I can tell you what we might have for the Thursday edition. We're gonna have a road rage update that just got
Ooh.
turned in by Emily, and it's a teaser, so I'm not gonna break the news here.
All right.
We're gonna have some news on Centralia Mayor Susan Lund stepping down from her mayoral duties to become
I
a
thought you were
regular
gonna
counselor
say
again.
stepping
Wait.
down from her. Never mind.
No, she's stepping down from her position as mayor to just be a regular council, serve out the rest of her term. And if you have a kid in PL, you're in luck because we're going to have the PL honor roll on Thursday. I know. You've been waiting for it. Also, part 2 of our most popular story of today, which was Karina Stanton's report on the Stillwaters estates.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was very well received. And we have part 2 coming in hot on Thursday.
I've seen it. It exists.
And
Because
then
I am the editor-in-chief.
you are not.
All
Take it back.
hail editor-in-chief.
Last one, Claudia Yaw. She was up at High Rock today where they started disassembling the lookout
Oh,
to
that's
fly
what
it
you
off
went to
the
High Rock
mountain.
for.
So she'll have a good report on that. It's going to be a good
Cool.
paper. Much better than the Tuesday edition.
The Tuesday edition was phenomenal and will go down in history as one of the most stellar editions of this newspaper. With that, thank you very much. You can rate, review, subscribe on Spotify or iTunes or whatever you want to do, or don't. We'll be fine. And with that, we'll talk to you again next week on News Dump, brought to you by Summit Funding.